Grab a free box, some cheap Dollar Tree project board, and a reptilian embossed vinyl to create the most spectacular book Nook Diorama you'll be just dying to make.
Got a great idea for what kind of scene I'm gonna put in here. I got this at IKEA. It was a display box that they were throwing away. I'm taking one of my project display boards that I got at the dollar store. Check my front cover, and we get what looks like the shape of a book. I'm going to start painting the inside. I'm using my Apple Barrel matte black paint that I got at Walmart. I have painted both ends of the spine black so that the cardboard won't show underneath. A piece of cardboard that's pretty much the same size as the spine of the book. And what I've done is I have bent it so that it gets a nice curvature to it. And I'm going to go ahead and attach this on the back with hot glue so that it's slightly raised and has the curvature of a book. Fabric that I'm going to use, it's this really great vinyl that I have that's very much like a crocodile skin or an alligator skin. And of course it has a patent leather look to it that really picks up the light. The inside is more or less like a felt backing. I'm going to use this to cover my front cover, my back cover, and the outside spine of the book. I'm going to leave a little over an inch on the outside. This way I can fold all of this down and attach it to my book. The one thing I do want to make sure is that I am landing pretty close to the middle on this. I want that pattern to be exactly in the middle. I'm going to make a little snip in the pattern here that denotes the middle. This is going to be the front cover of my book. I think that looks really stylish and fun. This is actually from the dollar store, and so is this eye. I used my X-Acto to score around this and then just pried it right off. This will fit right in its place and really complete the look. A little bit like the Hocus Pocus book. Covered up my tabletop here, and I've got my contact cement. I love the gel formula, by the way, because it's easier to control without a lot of drippage. And this stuff is great in these kinds of applications, but be sure and use it like the instructions say in a well-ventilated area, because it does stink to high heaven. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint this on with the foam brush. Move this aside, and I'm going to do the same thing in the approximate center areas of my fabric. Both surfaces are ready. I'm going to put these aside, put another piece of protective paper down. You could skip this step using the contact cement to glue your cover down, but in the long run, you'll be happier if you do glue it down. Now, with the fabric this thick, since it's vinyl, I could have used the glue gun, and because there's so much texture in it, you probably wouldn't see any cracks of the hot glue underneath. But I know this method works really well, and as long as you store your book in a temperature-controlled area, this will hold up basically for forever. Just a little tip, contact cement will reactivate under extreme heat. If this was stored up in an attic that gets really, really hot during the summer, like here in Texas, probably would not hold up really, really long term. So keep that in mind when you're working on a project like this. If it's something you want to keep for a really long time, you're going to have to be aware of that. All right, I'm going to repeat the same on my cardboard. It glides on much easier. I'm going to put this aside, let it set up. I'm going to use this bulletin board paper that I got at Hobby Lobby for the inside background of my diorama. I'm tracing the outside of the box. This is actually going to be slightly larger than what I need it to be. So this is a nighttime sky. I'm going to go ahead and use my trusty bone folder to exaggerate those creases. I'll take my spray adhesive and spray it on the back of my paper. Presto, presso. This is set. And without all the glare, maybe you can get an idea of what the nighttime sky is going to look like inside my book. I am now ready to go ahead and put the front edges of my pages on the book. And what I have is this great striped fabric, which is very neutral color, that I got at Joann Fabrics. And to me, this perfectly represents and looks like the variations in color in the pages of a book. So here we go, all the way around the book. I have glued my paper onto the inside front cover of my book. Now I am ready to go ahead and glue this cover to the spine of my book. I want to line that up and center it as best I can. And I'm going to go ahead and put a generous amount of glue here because I really want this to stick well. I'm ready to glue on the back side, and I'm going to try and work as quickly as I can so that I can get this adhered before the glue gets too cold. So the entire cover is glued on. I did leave out this little detail that I'm going to have to go back and paint. Time to attach the cover to the spine. Here is the finished exterior of the book. These are my covers. They look really good with the vinyl, don't they? The front pages of the book and the top pages of the book. The inside of the book with my evening sky, and I finished the edges with a little bit of trim. I've also added these little posts. Here is what they're for. I'm using this house cutout that I got at Dollar Tree. I've glued on these little plastic cups. They're like little shot glasses. And these correspond to these little pieces of tubing that fit perfectly inside. that gives me some room in between the cutout and the back of the book because I'm going to add one of these mini puck lights to the back right here. That gives me the space in between and also helps keep these in place. For the other side of the street, I'll be doing the same thing, but I decided to use some of these LED lights that I found at Walmart. I've taped these onto the back in case they ever burn out and I have to replace them. You can see that they light up and they have a whole bunch of different functions. That goes in here just like that. And that is the start of the interior of my book. I also added some of these little posts to the bottom of the book to help support it. All they are is paper rolls from the labels that I use on my printer. I'm going to need some steps. So I'm going to take some cardboard and some glitter foam and use that to make my steps. And here it is, cute little steps. I did paint the sides and I covered it with the foam, but this will be perfect for the interior of my book scene. Let's get this set up. This is for our haunted trick-or-treaters. So I have lighting on the back, and I love the alternating lighting. I have this spooky tree that also lights up, which I really love, and it fits in there perfectly. Now, more stairs, and a few little Halloween accessories that make it really fun and accessible, because who doesn't love jack-o'-lanterns? And now, for our trick-or-treaters. Zombie babies! That one's a little devil. And a gingerbread haunted house. Perfect for all the little kids. More zombies is ready to go.
Thank you for watching. I hope this inspires you to create your own spooktacular haunted book nook. If you enjoyed this video, click on the next video here. It features all 5 of the other book nooks in the Sinister series. Goodbye.